That's
yeah,
us.
that's good.
That's good?
Yep.
That's good?
That's us.
That's good?
Yeah.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
While I'm doing this?
Yeah.
Shouldn't do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, Jungle Joust.
Jungle Joust.
Jeb, you need your mead because you lost and drown your sorrows.
Oh yeah, can you hand that to me?
Sure.
Thank you. I need to forget this loss.
Alright.
So bad.
Yeah, we always like when Jeb loses on video because it doesn't happen often. It makes Mickey really happy.
It seems like when it happens, it's crushing too. I was like, there was.
Because I get all these pent up losses. I build it up for just one big win. So anyways,
Yep.
that was Jungle Joust.
Hopefully you watched it and got to
Yep.
see it. We did the 3 rounds, so if you weren't watching it, you can go see a full game of it.
Full game of it. It's actually, of course, we've said it before, Jeb does cut out a lot of the dead time, so you don't have to be bored out of your gourd, but you do see the entire, every play of the game. And again, IDW game. Mm-hmm. One of the ones we were asked to review by them, graciously. Yep. And review 2 to 6 players, 30 to 45 minutes, and it says ages 12 up.
And that we actually were talking about when we first played it. We were like...
Yeah, we actually, in this game, we pretty much agree with the age range on this. Not because the mechanics are hard at all, and there's actually no reading except for obviously the rule book.
Yeah, you could teach like any young child how to play this game. It's just
the question is, if you watch the game, will they get the betting portion and how all that works? If you have a child that oh wait, they get that and they understand what's happening with the board, have at it, because there's nothing there's nothing complicated in terms of mechanics. So that all aside, I'm going to give this game 2 thumbs up, and it actually I probably would have started the review as it's just a good game. It went up once I really understood the scoring and basically how to play. I mean, I got the mechanics right away. It took me an entire gameplay and then us actually doing the explaining before it really sunk in for me. I think it sunk in quicker for Jeb. I was just like, I really needed the hands-on, and then I really needed the one more time.
Yeah.
And then I got it. So
yeah, I would definitely recommend that like you play a game of it just to get a feel of it, because the second time you play this game, you're gonna know what to do.
Right.
And there was a drastic difference.
Right.
I mean, sometimes it happens in these kind of games, but I feel like how drastic it was, like, was memorable.
It was night and day between the first and the second games. If you watched the gameplay, at one point in gameplay, I mentioned the amount of favors on the board. When you just saw Jeb and I play, there was very little compared to what happened in the first games we played. And that was even with us playing it slightly wrong with putting favors on the movements, which we weren't supposed to do. But even that aside, we had too many favors on the board.
Yeah, our first round had, what, 3 favors or something?
Yeah, because I don't feel like any of us really tried to block because we didn't know what we were doing. That really starts to come into play once you take a couple bets and you're like, I'm committed.
Yeah.
And you're like, especially if you committed to a rider and you went all in, and I'm not just talking about the rider that is in your alliance.
Yeah.
Because at one point you're going to be, my guy's going to lose or my guy's going to win. And at that point, those chits are that's your lifeline.
Yeah.
And everything depends on it. Those chits and those bets on who's going to win. So yeah, the alliance is going to give you a little bit of cash, most likely in some way.
Yeah.
But other than that,
those chits are the big thing.
They come into play big time. So again, we both, I think our opinion of it went really high after understanding the entire game, and I can't reiterate enough that if you haven't played this, maybe we're both idiots. Well, we are both idiots, so whatever.
He tells me this every time we record.
But seriously, I really, if the rule book didn't click with you when you read through it, go back and watch our explanations.
Yeah. And at the very least, watch
and then
play.
After you watch the explanations, at a very minimum, go to the section of game mechanics where we explain at least the end game scoring. We actually try to tell you per chit how they're scored.
Yeah.
But we do a fake example of, like, we set up a board, we put some stuff out, and we said, here's what the score would be with this game. And then if it's still not clicking, and you don't want to watch us play the game, then skip to the end of gameplay and watch us score that.
Yeah.
If you get the scoring in this game, you will have a ton of fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And what did you feel like the difference between playing with 3 people and playing with two people?
It wasn't a huge difference, but that whole not knowing who is like wanting, like the alliance thing, being hidden information in the 3-player game, kind of like I could see the difference in it just with like, because when we were playing, I was aligned to black, and I think Mickey was red and Haley was black, and Mickey was doing stuff that was helping the black rider.
He wants to pull out how stupid I am. Yeah, you do.
I mean,
go ahead, say it.
I don't mind it, but so like I was making decisions thinking Mickey had the Black Alliance guy, and I feel like in the 2-player game I didn't have to do that because I knew he was aligned with black. So it's like,
oh, you didn't even tell what happened though.
I was being nice.
He's not nice. He tells that story. I played the whole game forgetting what my alliance was. He swore I was black. I flipped it over at the end of the game. I'm red, and I went, oh, I forgot about that aspect.
I was like, Mickey and I were making the Black Rider move so fast in that game. I was like, oh, yeah, we both bet black. He flips it over, and it's red. I'm like, what?
I just lost so much.
The hidden knowledge was a big difference. For 2-player, I do feel like we were doing a lot more blocking and stuff like that, because we knew who was getting what money, at least with the alliance.
Yeah.
So.
I feel very similar to Jeb. I feel like I'm guessing a little bit here since the first 3-player game, nobody really knew what they were doing. However, with the knowledge that I know now, I feel like the hidden information, having a couple, not knowing what's going to happen between a couple people, meaning like after Jeb goes, I know it's going to be my turn again in a 2-player game.
Yeah.
I feel like the strategy would be totally different. Like taking from the tableau. At some points when I took from the tableau, I was like, all I got to do is hope that he doesn't play this card. In a more multiple player game, that would be a huge chance, hoping that it got all the way back around and nothing got blocked from the reason I was taking something out of the tableau. So I feel like this probably gets really, really interesting with multiple people. But I feel like the key is why it's not bad with 2 people is I still feel like there was that tension.
Yeah.
So I still feel like it was really, really good. But I would probably like it with a little bit better.
Yeah. That was one thing that I did notice the difference in a 3-player game. As it gets closer to the clash, you're like, I might not get a turn.
Right.
When it's 2-player, you still see it. It's just like with 3 players, it's like, oh, I'm really not going again.
Yeah.
So.
And with those other games, you're probably really thinking about, should I drop a 2-card turn or not?
Right.
Because if I drop a 2-card turn, it might not come back around to me. Or maybe you're like, if I drop a 2-card turn, I better pick the right chit because there's a good chance that this game is going to end. So I feel like you probably have, about 2 turns to decide what you're going to do, and then things are heating up real quick.
Yep.
So anyways,
so
what else?
Things you liked?
I like, For me, I really, really, really like the simple mechanic. That is just any game that is like just out of the gate. This is so simple to like. It's play a card and match a symbol.
Yeah. Do that, pick a chit, and then draw cards.
Right.
3 things every turn.
So mechanic-wise, you can't get anything. That being said, I love like all the options, and the fact is that you could be so sure that you got it right, and they can change just like that.
That was round 1 or 2 for me. I was like, red is going to win, so I started putting cards down. I was grabbing red things that I thought were going to win, and then Mickey played a card, and now black's ahead, and I'm like, now I can't even get red back in the game. I'm like, I just got destroyed.
Yep.
So, one thing I really liked was the Jousters. Like, you're not really playing as the Jousters. Like, you're kind of separated. It's like you're outside watching them.
Yeah, it really felt like you were part of the, like, more of the crowd.
Yeah.
Picture, a horse race with people in the stands going, come on, come on, come on, come on. That's what you are in this game because you've got money on the line.
Yeah.
You know what I also think most likely in a multiple player game is that there's a good chance that the money all around is closer with the back and forth with things.
Oh, yeah, because you're probably not getting as many chits.
Yeah, because, you figure there's 2 of each. If somebody's seeing the same thing as you, let's say the whole table's seeing the same thing as you, like, everybody absolutely knows black's gonna win, right?
Yeah.
So that means the movement arrows are probably gone. That means the alliances are probably gone.
The Valors.
The Valors are probably gone.
Yeah, those 4 are gone.
So the only thing you have to do if you really want to try to score on winning stuff is placing cards down. You place cards down. Well, yeah, you don't move the horses and you get some points, but they're not worth as much. It's hard to get a 3-point victory card down in the stuff. We could go on for days on strategy. I know we're getting into strategies, but if you can't tell, there's a whole lot to this game rather than those really simple mechanics.
Yeah, it's like you have super simple mechanics, but the complexity of all the betting and everything, it's just... I think they did a really good job.
I do too. I do too. As a matter of fact, I can't say it enough. Just the initial learning. I was like, this is okay. This is kind of fun. And then when Jeb and I really sat down and went at it, I was like, no, this is going to be intense if you get a good crowd of people playing it. It's going to get rowdy. That's what I think.
I think this actually would be a fun...
there'll be some slamming of hands on the table. Like, I can't believe that happened.
Can you imagine 2 people, like a group of people playing, and then other people just coming and watching? Like, I feel like you could draw an audience, and they'd be like, "Oh, this is crazy."
Yeah,
and they get the feel of it because they're like, it's just like watching a joust.
Yep. So. Not liking. I feel like even, I don't know, we keep using the word simple and complex in the same thing. I feel like it does take a little bit of a thought process. It's not a brainless game.
Yeah, you definitely have to think. I think the learning curve is the hard part on this.
Although I will say, if you play around, I think the learning curve goes away quickly. I just think it starts kind of, at least in the middle.
Anybody playing it, I would recommend them reading the rules first. It's not always the case. If you bring this game and there's a bunch of new people, they're not all going to sit down and read the rules. You'll have to teach them. But if you get a chance, I'd say read the rules.
Right.
And then normally playing a quick, your first game is going to be just a learning thing. I think you need to play a second game, and that's when everything will
really
solidify, click, all that stuff. So I think after your second game is where you're going to see a lot of the...
I agree. I 100% agree with that. So, again, somebody that really doesn't... there is a bit of strategy to it, so if you're not kind of into a strategy, if you don't like a betting chance type of thing...
There's lots of numbers and strategy in this. If that's not down your alley, I think you'd get bored of it really quick.
It's certainly visually kind of cool with the 3D.
Oh, the 3D, yeah, I will say I like the 3D stuff.
I really do too.
That makes it a lot better. If they didn't have it 3D, then I'd be like, oh.
Components and art are really good in it. It's not, if you're a deep strategy, if you're looking for a massive game, like this plays pretty quick too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it all the way down to filler game, probably.
No.
I would put it into, like, a really nice, reasonable time. Like, I feel like if you could teach, I won't say non-gamer, but I would say, like, casual gamer, if they're open to trying new things, this is a good one that you can play in under an hour. You can definitely play all 3 rounds in under an hour of this once everybody gets it.
I'm curious as people who like gamble and bet and stuff like that.
What they would think of it.
What they would think of it.
Or if they could break it, that would be interesting too. If they could see, like, I don't know how you would be able to, because how are you supposed to know what everybody's got in their hand?
Right. Yeah. And there's such a variety in the cards too. Because I was sitting there with like a lot of 2 symbols, and then I saw Mickey drop a 4 symbol one. I'm like, where did that come from?
I know. Yep.
So.
So. I can't think of anything else in terms of likes and dislikes or who wouldn't, so things to remember.
Definitely, it is simple mechanics, but you need to remember to do everything in, like...
That's Jeb's mantra.
Yeah,
that Mickey always breaks. And he's like, back it up, kid, back it up. And he's right.
Because you do the draw, I mean, you play a card, you resolve everything, then you take a chit and you place bets, and then you draw cards. It's super easy to play a card, then draw cards, and you completely skipped over your chit taking. And that does make a difference in this game.
You can't, if you have new information, it could definitely change whatever you're going to bet on. So, slow down, do the things in order. About the only thing I could say that I don't think, Jeb can correct me if I'm wrong, that I don't think would make a difference would be the order that you either took a chit or played a card to bet on the rider. I don't think that makes a difference.
I think those two happen in the same phase.
Yeah, it's the same phase, so I don't think it... Because you have no new information at that point in time. So... I think that's called the betting phase or something like that. So those 2 things could be done in different order. Other than that, definitely do the things in order.
The bonus that you get for putting it on the 3rd of that symbol, I completely forgot about it in the beginning when we started playing, and you were like, "Don't I get a bonus for that?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right." So
when you get the 3 consecutive symbols in a row, just remember that something happens. That's easy for somebody to forget. Probably the person that played the card did it on purpose, so they're not gonna forget.
Right.
That's why I chimed in and said, "Hey, Jeb, am I supposed to get something for that?" There could be a situation where it triggers a nothing, though, in terms of you saw it once. Jeb played early in the game. He played the strength 3 in a row. The other guy literally had no cards on the tilt yet, so nothing came off the board.
Yep.
There's literally nowhere for him to move. So that's a rare occasion that it did happen. The only other thing, we found nothing in the rules. This goes along with the to remember. Certainly correct us if there's an errata or somebody knows or IDW wants to chime in. We had taken chits for whatever reason. Favors got removed, so there was literally nothing on the board, but people had.
Yeah, the score for the black was 0, the score for
red was 0. We considered that a tie because we bet on it, and we scored it as the rulebook states. The rulebook doesn't say there needs to be a favor on the board, right? It doesn't. So that's the way we played it. I'm not sure how much difference it would make if we played it the opposite way and didn't give any money. I think it would make a big difference because some of those pay out at 3, some of them pay out at 2.
And then the other is just losing 1.
So exactly. So it probably would make enough of a difference that it's kind of important. We played it exactly like it says in terms of there's chits, there's a tie, we're paying it out. So please correct us if we're wrong in that one. And what else?
You need to remember the movement chits and the valor are dependent on the winner, while the other ones they're not dependent on the winner.
Right.
So like if you know red's winning, you can still go for like the black fist or target or whatever. That's a strategy to do. Don't think that if red's winning, then
don't take the you just have to remember movement, which is the arrow, valor, which is the helmet. Yep. Those two literally depend on the winner.
Right.
Everything else on the board, it depends on the favors. Look at the sides of the board, and you got to remember how those favors scored. Same color, 2 points. Opposite color, 1 point.
Yep.
And that means
the tilts.
Red, right. So red side, red crowns, 2 point. Black side, red crowns, 1 point.
Yep.
That's about. I can't think of much else.
Yeah. Nothing comes to mind aside from that stuff. I think once you know that, then it's just a matter of playing the game over and over and see how well you can get at this. So.
Okay, so we're gonna try something new, something special.
Yep.
Hopefully you guys like it, because we're gonna kind of do a pay it forward. Since IDW was kind enough to send us these to review and play and have a good time with, we want to pass it on to you guys.
Yep.
And we want to give this game away. So how we're going to do that is we are currently floating somewhere around just less than 450 subscribers.
Yep.
as of this recording. Mm-hmm. Once we hit 500 subscribers on YouTube, we will give this game, we will send this game to whoever wins, continental U.S. only. We are not paying for shipping to Japan, but we will send it to a U.S. address, continuous state U.S. address, to somebody who comments on this portion of the video. Needs to be the review section.
Yep, just leave a comment.
Leave a comment that says, I don't care what you said. I want the game. I would love to have this game. Give me the game. I'm the best. Give me the game. I don't care what you say. Something to that effect.
As long as we know that you want the game.
That we will. We'll
you'll be in the running for it, and then we'll randomly pick somebody out of all the comments.
The second that we hit 500 subscribers on YouTube, somebody will win this copy of Jungle Joust. So, what we need you guys to do is obviously put the comment if you like it.
Yep.
But the other thing we need you to do is we need you to, promote our channel in terms of go on Facebook and promote it. Send our link to your friends.
Mention it to your game group.
We also are on Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah, we do Twitter stuff.
So basically, this is a word of mouth, homegrown.
If you
campaign.
guys don't mind helping us out, we'd like to grow more.
Yeah, we'd like to. We hope you enjoy this stuff. So. Yeah. And it'll also help us give a feedback of who actually is watching these things. Might be a year from now, and hey, somebody's an instant winner because they're the only ones that watched to the end of this review.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's actually good feedback for us. So
yeah.
So anyways, we hope you enjoyed this episode. We really had a fun. I think I don't know. I know I've said it a couple times. I really think that Jeb and I were totally surprised by the time everything clicked with this game, on how much fun it really was.
When we first got it, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be like a pretty easy game, pretty light."
And it was actually.
and then we're sitting here, and I'm like racking my brain for an hour, like, how can I beat Mickey?
Oh yeah, that's the best part of this video is that Mickey won. We can keep saying that. I love that part.
No, please no. Watch everybody who they're like, Mickey was awesome in this video. I want the game.
That's a good one. I might put your name in twice if you do that.
No, don't promise.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. But I will appreciate it if you put that.
He'll definitely remind me every time. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, pass the word along. Definitely, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave feedback or email us. We're watching everything.
Yep.
And what was it? Oh yeah, if there's any games you guys want to see, I know we haven't been mentioning that a lot, but
I mean, we try to mention it, but I mean,
yeah, if you guys just leave a comment saying I'd like to see you guys play this game.
We have a ton of stuff to get to. If there's stuff that you actually want to see us play, let us know. If we don't have a copy, which I've said before, as long as it's not a $200 game, we'll probably go out and buy it just to do the review on it, because odds are there's probably one of us that wanted to try it. So, and if it's in the off chance you give us something that both of us are like really, we'll split the cost and buy it and do the review for you. Not to sound desperate, but we really like doing this. So.
Oh yeah, it's lots of fun for us.
So all right, we'll quit blabbing. Remember, you can win a copy of this, and until next time, we will see you later, and I'll finish my mead.
Bye.
Boards and booze, booze and boards with Mickey and Jeb.